Hi, my name is Ryan Pack, and this is Soundtrack Your Life, where I speak with a guest about soundtracks. Today, our guest is film composer and pipa virtuoso Miss Min Xiao-Fen. She has just released her latest album, Metta, which is the score to 2 Chinese silent films back on March 24th. These scores were commissioned by the Smithsonian Institute. So, welcome, Miss Min.
Hi. Thank you so much, Ryan, for interviewing me. Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
So, why don't you tell us a little bit more about the album Metta?
The Metta is from the Buddha words. It means love and kind. Metta was actually it's a soundtrack for 2 silent films, which commissioned by Smithsonian Institute last year. We did the premiere, at the Smithsonian. And then later I said, why maybe just record it, the soundtracks. So I select 14 pieces and then made the Metta. And the music actually is based on the 2, I composed for 2 films, silent films. One's called Romance of the Fruits Peddler. Another one is called Romance of the Western Chamber. It's all about romance and about young couples. They break through the forbidden love. Usually family, especially in tradition, Asian family, the parents arrange the marriage. But in these 2 films, the young couple was brave and they break through this kind of forbidden, the society's kind of forbidden love, but they break through. So it's beautiful 2 films. First film, The Fruits Peddler, made in 1922. It was the first film, silent film made in China. The second film, Western Chamber, was made in 1927. It's well done films made in China.
Yeah, so you grew up in China. You come from a very musical family.
Yes.
And you learned the pipa from your father?
Yes, I learned from my father. My father was a professor, educator, and master pipa player who taught at Nanjing University for 60 years. My father passed away. And my father, when I still, missed him a lot because he's so kind and really, really smart and knowledgeable for many, many other things. He's not just only, the pipa master. He was so handy. He can grow a lot of good vegetable. He's fix all. If home has something broken, he fixes himself. And my sister and my brother, they are all musicians. My sister was an erhu player, and but who passed away too. She was well known erhu player. It's Chinese fiddles, full-string fiddle. And my brother, he is a conductor. He retired now. But so I born with, musical family. So it's all my father's. He taught us. Yes.
Did you enjoy being in a musical family? Was there a lot of competition, or, did you guys get along?
And let's say, the musically or artistically, we are kind of a little bit competing each other because my sister was she was well known in China, not just only in China. She was famous in Taiwan and Hong Kong, and she was much older than me, 15 years older than me, and I kind of admire her. I feel she's like really kind of influenced me, and it's my I adore her. She's so kind, but musically, yeah, she's kind of, how to say, when I was young, I always feel she's kind of different level because she's really high level. I was just started, and even I become professional musician, I always feel I'm not good enough because my sister was so, she's like for me, she's like a sun. She's always shine. And my brother and I kind of a little bit shadow, to be honest, because even my brother is so smart. He's a good conductor. He's Western conductor, okay. But we felt kind of a little bit pressure. Yes, it's not like a negative pressure. It's just really feel, oh, I'm not good enough. And because when you play traditional music, you really have to play perfect. Every note, how you press down, you really have to use every kind of really deep feeling to play. Almost every note you have to be looking for perfect. I'm just not the kind of person. I always nervous to play traditional music because you have to play perfect, but I never can play perfect. But my sister's a different thing. She's so controlled. She's kind of I just want to say she's kind of almost every note's perfect. She has a very strong personality, but she plays perfect notes. She has a lot of feelings. She always practice. Until everything is there. I think I have different kind of character. I like to do many kind of things. I don't want to focus on one thing. So this is why it's harder for me when I was in China, because the Chinese society is about, it's not about the individual. It's not about, that not encourage you like a kind of value of the individual, but they want you be copy other people, like perfect to copy other people. So it's hard. It's hard when I was in China, yes. Even I was professional musician for 10 years, but I just lost until I come to America. Yes, I kind of lost, yes.
So the pipa is a stringed instrument that was originated in China.
Yes. Pipa is actually, it's been played 2,000 years. So it's made, it exists, let's say, in the Qing dynasty about 221 and 206 BC. So of course, then during the time, the pipa, the shape was a little different. It's kind of round soundbox and then has a handle. Then when the people made the pipa, they start to play. They heard the song like a pipa, when you're striking down, sound like a P, and then striking back, sound like a pa. So pipa. So this is why they give the name pipa. And of course, pipa, the shape changed during Tang Dynasty. There's kind of pear shape of the pipa that introduced during a Silk Road. And so it looked like a wood, okay? So this kind of shape is like a pear shape. So the Chinese, of course, adopted this kind of style that become pear shape. But during the Tang Dynasty, they played a different way. So they play horizontal style. They use a big plakjom to play, not the fingers. Right now, the modern pipa, we use a finger. We use the finger picks to perform. But during the Tang Dynasty, it was different kind of style because not too many techniques. During the time, only have 5 frets. Now, the modern pipa, we play upright, vertical, and we have 4 strings. We tuned, it's A, D, E, A. We have 30 frets now. So it's a chromatic scale, and it's almost like more than 70 techniques to perform.
Yeah, and so the popularity of the pipa spread to Japan and Korea as well.
Yes, biwa, right? In Japan, it's a biwa. And in Korean, I'm not really sure about the name, but I do know there has some kind of similarity of a pipa.
So I wasn't sure what the pipa was at first, but then as I listened to your music and other examples of the pipa, I think when I was growing up, I heard a lot of it when my parents would watch like historical dramas, and so I feel like I heard a lot of the pipa in those sort of TV shows.
Yes. It's a very popular instrument in China. We always say pipa is like a king among the traditional instruments. Not just only the history, also we have a large repertoire. Especially the pipa was so popular during the Tang Dynasty. It's kind of not just only for solo, also for the orchestral. It's most popular, one of the popular instrument in China. Yes.
And so I believe it's in 1992 you moved to San Francisco from China.
Yes. Big change. Just like I mentioned before, I was 17 years old. I selected, actually, I was, because I born in a very complicated situation. There was a Cultural Revolution, so the university was closed for 10 years. So when the Cultural Revolution finished in 1976, so university still didn't open yet. So, but a lot of orchestras start looking for new members. So I was just a graduate from high school. So I learned the pipa actually when I was 10 years old. So they started opening for the audition looking for pipa player. I remember my hometown, Nanjing, has like 100 pipa players go there looking for job because there's no university, right? They didn't open yet. So I was lucky because I selected, actually after audition, I selected by the Nanjing Traditional Orchestra. Of course, then had to training me become more like a professional. So we started like the orchestra has 4 years, strict training, and it's just like you go to school. I mean, you had to stay in the orchestra, whole day training, and become 4 years later. I did the exam again. I become a formal. Become principal pipa soloist. So I worked there. I worked as a soloist for almost 10 years, actually. Then I have a very good job. I have a stable job. It's considered it's the best job because I never needed worried about I'm gonna get fired. But I kind of lost because I don't know. I can't be like my sister because my sister's so famous. I'm kind of I tried, but there's not too many yo-yo mom or my sister, this kind of level, can be like this kind of level. So, but I work very hard because my full-time job is musician. But after almost 10 years, I play same repertoire again, and I kind of a little bit lost. I felt, yes, I want to, go to other country, to see. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I just feel it's time to change. Then I come to America. I quit my job. I was so brave. Actually, people will say, really, you're going to quit your job? I say, yes, I'm quit my job. I just quit. I just left China in 1992. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I just take chance. Yes.
And so were you kind of intimidated to be in America to introduce people to the pipa who may not have heard of the pipa before?
Yeah. Wow. I kind of excited. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just felt maybe it's something new for me. I just don't know, but I'm not afraid actually. I know it's, for first couple years, it was really, really, really hard because all of a sudden, because in China, everything controlled, right? You don't have to prepare for example, when you're doing concert, they have a dress for you. You do makeup, somebody help you do makeup. Your instrument, my orchestra prepare instrument for you. I don't need to do it. I don't need to prepare anything. Not come to America. You need to do almost everything yourself. You need to fund a concert. Let's say you have to contact people, say, hey, come into my concert. And you have to do all the social media. That's the later thing, okay? Because when I come to San Francisco, they don't have a social media yet. Right. But I know it's really hard because you always have to invite people, even just call people. And we don't have an email, but we call people, say, hey, come to see my concert. We're lucky because I always feel I'm a very lucky person because the Guzheng in San Francisco, that's a Guzheng Music Society that immediately invited me and also sponsor me. And later I get my green card because my job, my extraordinary ability in arts, I got my green card because also they sponsor me. I worked with them for a couple of years and we started some ensemble, small ensemble, maybe sometimes it's a quartet or quintet, and we play everywhere in Chinatown and a lot of big venue too. And little by little, we have people started knowing me. Then I went to a concert that sponsor us, and then I met a lot of good composers. Let's say modern composers like Chen Yi, Zhou Long, and Tan Dun. And also I met Wadada Liu Smith. I met Carl Stone. Carl Stone he does computer music, sampler. Okay, so I met him in San Francisco. So we started work together. With Wadada Liu Smith, oh my God. Wadada is really my mentor. I want to say that because he saw me play at Chicago. I remember it's a modern music concert. Then he actually, we have the same. I played a different composers' piece, Chinese piece. Okay, so and it's a solo piece, and then the ensemble played Wadada's music. So after concert, we started chatting. Then Wadada said, I want to write piece for you. I said, sure. And then he write one solo piece. And then meanwhile, he write a piece for the ensemble. And I don't understand his piece because his music is so visual. Because for me, I used to notation, like Chinese notation or Western notation, has everything very clear. But his music is totally kind of graphic, and I don't really understand. But I struggle. I played. You know, he's kind of very kind of, let's say, he's creative composer. Meanwhile, he's very spontaneous on the stage. He sometimes will suddenly ask you to do something never planned, wasn't planned. So that's why when I play his solo, that was fine. But when I play with the ensemble, in the middle, that wasn't planned. He suddenly just don't play the music, just improvise. I have never played the improvise before. I was, I tell you, terrified. That moment I just totally lost. Because I really needed something, because I was so controlled a long time ago in China. I couldn't let it go. And that concert was terrified. I just never forgot. I feel terrible after show because I lost. I totally lost. I lost even because in the middle, that's he wanted me impressed with him. I couldn't do it. Then later go back to this piece. I lost. I don't know what I did. And that's the experience when I was in San Francisco. Yeah. Until 4 years later, I moved to New York. That's a different story. And I met so many other musicians.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that when you were growing up in China, you were not listening to a lot of Western music. You were probably just listening to a lot of classical music, correct?
Classical, yes, a lot of classical music, but story interesting is when China started opening, right, early after Cultural Revolution, probably right, let's say early 80s, I started open the door, and then all the music, all kind of music come to China, especially pop music. My first heard the pop singer, her name is Teresa Tan. She was a Taiwan pop singer, huge name except we don't know China. We don't know anything about her until I heard her early, 80s. She was huge name in Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, even in Japan, because she sing a lot of Japanese pop song too. She was unbelievable. I suddenly heard her voice. I just, my God, the voice is it's just like from heaven. And because during the Cultural Revolution, we only heard music is kind of dedicated to army, farmer, or worker. It's kind of very kind of let's say, red song, right? We call red song. It's about communist. So the music is very harsh, and the words is harsh, and you need the strength, like kind of power, control, right? Control, brainwash the people, and use the fist. This kind of music. I grow up. So suddenly I heard Teresa Tan. Her voice, it's just like really like a love, just always love, and next to your ear, and it looks like a whisper, next to you, and Give Your Love. Oh my God, I just melting my heart. I was just, oh my God, that the voice is from the heaven. Now, of course, I listened to some American pop singer like Michael Jackson, yes. And Whitney Houston, I remember, I sing her song. I sang her song. I learned a couple songs. I love it because, when I was in China, I not just only play pipa, I also singer. I sing a lot of, before it's folk song, just like a red song or some Peking operas and local operas. So I always love it. So when I was in China, for a short of time, I always sing a pop song too. So that's my interest. Yes.
And so, in America, you also have worked with a lot of jazz artists.
Yes.
And pop artists here as well.
Yes. That's when I moved to New York, let's say, even I have a not very good experience work with Wadada. I love him, but it's not my style. So I was that was just I just can't get it. It take time because we're so controlled before. Then I moved to New York, and I very soon met John Zorn. I had a small recital at the Leading Factory in New York. So I played some traditional. I did some traditional rap, some couple of traditional pieces, and then also modern compositions, and I sing a couple of songs. John Zorn was there. Then he introduced himself. I don't know nothing about the jazz world. So then he introduced himself. Then he said, "I want you to work with Dirk Bailey." Dirk Bailey was British avant-garde guitarist who invented many. He's reinventor. When he plays, the song is just so let's say abstract or not noisy, colorful. He invented a lot of techniques. He was a pioneer. I want to say that. He passed away. So he influenced me a lot. So John just said, "You two should make a recording. I'm gonna, make a recording for you too." I just told John, I said, I had to be honest. I don't know how to improvise. I never did it before. Even with Wadada, I said, I did terrible job. He said, "No problem." He said, "You should just listen to him, his music. Then you tell me if you want to do or not." And then I listened to Dirk Bailey. Then I studied for a while. I just don't know how to do it, but I tell myself, you have to try whatever. I'm just gonna listen. I'm just follow him, chasing him. I used to doing that. I would listen to the CD he gave to me, John gave to me, and I just copy him. I chasing him. Whatever he played. I just try to match him. And I had to be honest. When I say yes, now we just went to studio. I met, Derek, a really nice guy, very quiet, and we did a 3 hours recording. I was so nervous. I was just chasing him all the time. One moment I never forgot. I told many people, about one moment. doing it's big piece, it's a long piece. Derek's the strings broken. For me, I would say okay, let's stop. Let's just do it again. I changed the string, but he didn't. He continued play. He used the string scratching on the frets. Make sound just unbelievable. Unbelievable. The sound. Just I couldn't even imagine, he can almost like make use everything can make sound. Yeah, that was incredible moment. I will never forget. So after that, I still have no confidence. I feel, I didn't feel, but eventually the CD released called Viber. It's about snake, Viber. And it's actually when I listen to, not that bad, but I can feel myself. I remember because I'm kind of very careful. I don't have confidence. I know myself. And the sound is a little bit, you can feel it's hesitating. But, after a couple years later, actually, John, he was so supportive. Even I'm not good, but he always pushed me. He just go, be creative. And, when I moved to New York, the music was so booming there during the time. Wow, a lot of clubs, small clubs. We always, I always get a phone call saying, "Hey, Min, do you want to jam in with me?" Yeah, I say yes. So I take for this opportunity because I felt I want to learn from other people. Whatever I know I'm not good yet, but I want to take this opportunity to learn from other musicians. So that was so good. Every week could get a couple chances, opportunities to just play at a small club with many peoples. And sometimes John said, "Hey, just two of you could do." And then 3 trio, and then big ensemble. It was so much fun. And then I learned this from many other. You can name it. All great musicians. We just jamming. Had a lot of fun. I learned actually from the stage. I learned to be myself, become, oh wow, the music is so much fun. Just before I was so controlled, and then here, go to America, you're free. You can do whatever you want. You can make all kind of song you like. I was, my God, I just feel I've more appreciated the music after I started doing the jazz, free improvisation. Then, of course, later on, a couple years later, I met Dirk again, Dirk Bailey. So we tour, of course. He's so nice. He support me. We tour in Europe a lot, and then we did second CD during the time. Not afraid anymore. I was sometimes okay, you follow me. I was kind of feeling we have a more conversation, not like before, just so shy. And also with Wadada, Liu Smith, and he, any, you want to do it, okay, no problem, on the stage, whatever you want to do, I could do it. And we did a couple CD, I recorded a couple CD with Wadada, and I learned so much from them. They're all my mentors. Yes.
And I think, people can see this new fearlessness in you by, the fact that people like Bjork and Damon Albarn started reaching out to you to record with them.
Yes. And then, that was probably, forgot what year, but yeah, the Bjork reached out to me. Someone recommended, actually, because Bjork she is always creative person, right? She always has so much imagination. And she reached out to me and she said, can you come to my party? Can you play for us? I said, sure. Then I went to her house, upstate house. So there's a big party. And she's superstar, but she's just so nice. She did, I remember she did it because I have to be there a little early. The guests didn't come yet. I have to find this place to sit. And there's several other musicians. So then she put all the table, put the dishes, she put napkins, she arranged everything. She just such beautiful people, person. And then I performed for them. Then she said, I have a CD. I want to, join me to play one track. I said, of course, I'd love to. Then she gave me the track. She already recorded, kind of demo tape. She's kind of pre-recorded. Then she said, "Can you just improvise on this track? You don't have to look at the score." So then after I working on a little while, a couple days, and then we went to the studio. Then I just recorded couple times. That's it. And she just say, I needed some editing. Said, don't worry, you just play different versions. Then she did some editing. Oh, that was such fun. Work with her. Such very smooth and very, very nice people. Yeah, I kind of really adore her, and always, make everything easy for you. Yeah, it's really nice person.
And she's actually brought you out on stage to perform that song.
Yeah,
right?
a couple of times. Yeah, one CD release, we went to New York. I think I performed 3 times, with her. Oh, I would never forget. Yeah, it was beautiful, beautiful experience. Yeah, the whole performance, the whole even band or everyone just so nice, super nice. Yeah, make you feel like a part of family. Just unbelievable.
And so then you also collaborated with Damon Albarn on, I don't know if you want to call it an opera, but he did
a theater piece. I can say it's a theater. Yeah, theater. Yeah, it was a great experience because we performed like 27 shows at Lincoln Center, and we have a pretty tight schedule rehearsal. We rehearsal different play location, and then we move in to the Lincoln Center. Then the first performance, Damon was there. He seems very happy. He's kind of person, huh? It's not like it looks like a very picky, or you have to play we all make a little bit mistake or whatever. He's always, sounded nice, sounded good. He's more kind of really want to play from your heart, right? Feeling is more important. He's very supportive too. He was, I think that performance, the first performance, he was super happy. Yeah. Very nice person. Yeah, again.
How did you feel about that theater piece? Because it's based off Journey to the
Monkey
West,
King.
which is Monkey King,
famous,
which is a very famous story in China.
Yes. I remember it was directed by Chen Shizhen, right? Chen Shizhen. It's a big production, Oh my God, you see a lot of this on the stage, the people, because monkey, flying the monkey, and a lot of effects. And I personally, I really, really love it. I couldn't see too much because I'm in the pit,
right
under the pit. I can't see, but I heard a lot of good things. People enjoy because very entertainment, and its music is also interesting, because it's kind of mixed with pop. and yeah, very dramatic. And yeah, I heard a lot of great things. Unfortunately, I can't see because yeah, I'd love to see it, but I know Chen Shizhen's because I worked with him several other operas, yeah, opera and theater pieces because he's a visual. He's I like his style because he's so visualized. You know, not just only he's very he always work with very interesting composers, also staging design. It's just amazing. Now I know his style, but I kind of just I really love it. Work with them. Yes.
Yeah, I think I told you offline. I went to one of the last performances of that,
Yeah.
and
How do you feel as
was
an
beautiful.
audience?
I
Yeah.
really loved it.
Yeah. It's so theatrical and kind of really. I also I think because I think I can see the audiences. You know, they're kind of responding. Right, you can feel their you know yes, you know. So also so many people. You know, 27 shows. You know, a lot of shows, but almost, you know, every time it's almost full. It's really good, really good. Yeah.
So when did you feel comfortable composing your own music?
Yeah. When I was, you know, I lived in New York for 25 years. You know, San Francisco, 4 years. Then I moved to New York because my husband got a job. So I moved with him. At first 10 years, I was learning. Learning on the stage. I work with a lot of great musicians, you know, many. So I learned from them. You know, when I study, when I started work with jazz musician, like, for example, like, also, you already mentioned many names. I also worked with the pianist. His name's Randy Weston. He has this group called African Rhythm, and he passed away too. But his music is his kind of always his music always influenced by by different cultural, especially African music. So I work with a lot. So those kind of connection make me feel I want to learn about more about the history about jazz, especially Randy is also play a lot of monk tones too. So you know, since I started play jazz, a lot of people started know I play jazz. So somehow, what year it was probably 2004. The Lincoln Center has jazz series about Thelonious Monk, and they invite me to join with other 4 soloists. Everybody take 20 minutes to play Monk's music. You influenced. You use your own interpretation to perform Monk's music. Then when I come to New York, actually people did ask me, say, do you know Monk? Have you ever heard Monk's music? I said, you mean the Buddha monk? I don't know anything about Thelonious Monk. So, but that was 2004, Lincoln Center. I played 3 songs by Monk. I don't think I did a good job because during the time I still not very good with opening improvisation because they want you to do the interpretation, not copying. But I think I was wrong because most of the time I copy. I didn't play too much open improvisation. Use your own idea to play. But I see other musicians. Wow, that was amazing because they have their own interpretation. They have their own creative sound. So I always felt, I want to do someday. I want to do again. But same time, I started do some research about jazz. I found out, wow, there's a history, jazz history between China and America. When the Bud Clayton, he went to China. He in the middle of the 1930s, he brought a Kansas City swing to Shanghai. He worked with one of the Chinese, very famous Chinese songwriter, whose name is Li Jinghui. Li Jinghui was, at that time, middle of 1930s, people call him father of Chinese popular music. And wow, I saw this story. I feel really, I'm so excited. I just felt, oh, I want to start my trio to recall these two legendaries, because the Li Jinghui was persecuted during the Cultural Revolution. People feel his music was too, we call yellow, pornography. So it's not healthy. So his music was totally banned during the Cultural Revolution. Also, he was persecuted. So I felt I want to start my trio. I want to, tell the people this great story. Even Bud Clayton, he just went to Shanghai, stayed Shanghai 2 years because the Second War started. Now he went back to America. So, but when you hear Li Jinghui, after he worked with Bud Clayton, his music, all the form changed because it's he adopted the jazz form. Use a big band, or oh my God, that was a pentatonic scale melody, but the accompaniment, the orchestration is a band, big band. So this is why I want to do this project called From Howling to Shanghai and Back. So the story is just, talk about these two legendaries and also recall some music by them. I started this project, and then after 10 years, we eventually added a lot of music, and that become, we did a lot of concert in New York or other places. Then, when I doing the research about this jazz scene, then I found the hidden film, The Goddess. I probably, I did first the film, The Goddess, right? The soundtrack for The Goddess. Right. This soundtrack, this film, this film called The Goddess, it was a high point, in the early of Chinese cinema. So directed by William Gang. It's made in 1934. This film also was dismissed as a decadent, by Chinese culture, scholar during the Cultural Revolution. So I feel still kind of hidden. So in 2008, I said, I'm going to make the soundtrack, perform with this film. So now I was in New York. I performed at the Roulette. I invite great jazz composer and a guitarist. His name's Raz Abbasi. Then we did our first performance at the at the Roulette. Right, that was 2018. Then, of course, this project actually doing really well because we perform many places like Lincoln Center last year, and MoMA. I was during the COVID actually. Also, many universities, like 20 performances already. Then the Smithsonian last year, that's a year before, they said that they want to invite me to write, the soundtrack for the film. Then I proposed these two films, Romance of Fruit Peddler and the Romance of the West Chamber. Then I proposed them. They love it. So then I started looking for it's crazy story because I have to looking for the copy. Those films, including The Goddess, these films, the three films, gone. Original films, original films, gone. So I had to find a copy. And eventually I found a copy. It's DVD copy. Someone, my relative from China, that sent me the DVD copy. And then I watched it. Oh my God, so bad, including the Goddess. Okay, so the translation is horrible. This, especially Romance of the Western Chamber. Oh my God, there's a Chinese, there's a French, there's a English. They're just like a layer by layer, totally mess. So I have to hire a local video guy person. He had to help me to editing. I take off a lot of, it's kind of, especially like the subtitle, many layers I had to cut off. I just put this English subtitle, then very clean. And, the older film always has a problem. It's not the frame. It's a missing frame. It's not in the center. Still, when you see clear, if you watch close, you will see a lot of, it's not in the center. I can't do this because this is all copied. I have to clean up, make it very nice look. Then I think about music. I have to, I work like every day, just watch the film. How can do the music? For me, I felt just the same thing like when I did the first film. I don't want the people feel this is a kind of a background music or some accompaniment. I always think about this is a trio. I don't want to use a lot, big ensemble. I just want to use one or two instruments. I felt, how to say, just when we play this, think about the soundtrack. I wanted the music, can kind of have a conversation with the elements or thing, but meanwhile, individual kind of stands by their own. If without the image, the music still can just speaks their own. Just like I just make a CD, it's still like a CD. But if with the elements, with the film, they work with the film, but meanwhile stands on its own. That's my purpose. I want to sometimes people watch the film, meanwhile watch us. I did it. A lot of people told us, say, "Oh, we want to watch you perform." Sometimes we don't care if it's so interesting how suddenly song come from, where the song come. This is why I use a lot of instruments, constantly change the sound. I want to make the sound very full, kind of sometimes disturbing, less suddenly, kind of a little bit like a kind of a clash. And then sometimes a lot of space, or sometimes a clash, and the people will look at us. Oh, wow, the sun come from. That's my purpose. I want the people focus on us too.
And so, I mean, I would assume that you're drawing from all these different experiences you have when
Yeah.
you're composing this music. So there's maybe a little bit of improvised jazz in there, but there's, I would say probably you're pulling from all different sort of genres, because that's kind of your space these days. You're not kind of confined to any one musical genre anymore.
Yes, I think in my mind, all my music always connected with different genres, connected with jazz, tradition, blues, and folk, and even a lot of Chinese operas. Because I use my voice too. I sometimes use my voice in the film. Sometimes I try to have a conversation with them. That's like girl's voice. I use the picking opera style, imitating the picking opera style for the girl. And then sometimes you use the style like a monk tone, like a voice. Okay, so monk like a through singing for the man, older man. I try to always make colorful. My mind in my composition, sound is very important. The sound. So we give the voice to the silent film. If without or music, I think you watch the film, you will feel a little bit boring, because that's just the silence. You don't see it, but added or music, you can feel there's a conversation. There's a kind of, sometimes we are really hard. What I should say, just the music is really kind of powerful, can hit your heart, can make your heart beating your heart. And that's my, what I want to do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen some videos of you playing with a percussionist. You have the film playing, and you're playing live, and it looks like such a great experience to be part of.
Thank you. Yeah, I want you to feel the emotion. Feel the emotion, feel the power, and so that's it's my goal. Yes. You watched the two films?
I watched. I think your publicist sent them, where it shows you performing with the film. So it's not the film with the score. It's you performing it live with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, live too, right? Yeah. So we that was videotaped at the Echo Mountain, local in Asheville. So it's a very nice, very good studio. Yes. Also, we use the local radio company. So they has several cameras and many angles. It was really, really good. Yeah, they did a great job editing too. Yes.
Yeah, it's great. I would spend money to buy tickets to see a performance like that.
Hopefully someday. You're California, right?
Yeah, I'm in California.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, because it's hard to come. We've been working on. Hopefully, can play at I think Berkeley. They need a fund, looking for some fundings, and hopefully, if you have some recommendation, we'd love to. Yeah, so we're gonna play at actually this year. Next week, we're gonna play at the Big Ear Festival. Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's really
cool. Also in the May, we're gonna play Lee Festival in Asheville.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we get a couple other shows later. Most is not far. Yes, yeah. Travel is going to be very hard. Yes, but I think if we can come to California, we'd love to. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming on our podcast.
Thank you, Ryan, for interviewing me. Yeah.
Oh, it was my pleasure. You've had such an interesting and obviously successful career. And the fact that you're rescoring silent films is just such a such a cool idea. I went to film school, so I love silent films and projects like this. It's very exciting to me. Metta contains scores for your 2 silent films. You can also get White Lotus, which is your score for The Goddess as well. We'll link to those performances, or we'll link to your music in our show notes for our podcast. If you are in the area, you should check Ms. Min out at the Big Air Festival or any of her upcoming tour dates. And thank you so much for being our guest.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you so much.